In this year there were not so many albums that I liked, but the albums that I like, I listened to them a lot of times. It was more about the quality rather than quantity for me. Anyway, let's go and see the list. The albums are not ranked from worst to best or the opposite. I just reserved my favorite album for the last one. And if you follow me on Twitter, Instagram or Facebook, you know which one is it. The Black Keys with Queens of the Stone Age are one of those rock bands that make you wanna dance. Let's Rock will certainly do that for you. There's an electric vibe on this album from the first second. I will really recommend it. I met Lucy in Blue in a Sleep concert. They were the openers. If you see them live, you notice that there's a very hard influence on bands like Led Zeppelin and Pink Floyd on them. If you are going to hear just one song on this album, check out Matricide. I have been a fan of Killswitch Engage for so long. It's one of those bands that catch your attention from the first listen, if you are into metalcore, obviously. Atonement lasts only 39 minutes, and that's the only bad thing about it. The Signals of Fire is a song that features Howard Jones, the singer of the past of Killswitch Engage. That's the best song for me of the album. Killswitch is one of those bands that I'm missing to see live. Talking about bands that I'm missing to see live, Opeth is on top of that list. The Swedish band crafted their own sound and no one sounds like Opeth. In Cloud of Anemone is a masterpiece in my opinion. You can find their rock, jazz, metal, a very cool combination that I would like to name as the Opeth sound. The acoustic arrangement that this record has are awesome. This one for me is one of the best releases of the year. How could we left out Rammstein's 7th studio album out of the list? That's not possible. This album has everything that you would expect from the German band. The theme of this album is a love-hate relationship that the band has with their country, Germany. People criticized the band after the first single release because they thought they were pro-Nazis. Obviously, they didn't know what they were talking about. It's kinda sad thinking that this might be the last release of Rammstein. I became a Slim Mill fan in 2013, kinda recently. I saw them live in Download Festival in the UK. If you have seen them live, you know what I'm talking about. This is one of those bands that gained popularity not with singles or songs, but with live performances. We Are Not Your Kind, in my opinion, is a very good album as a whole, rather than having very good songs. Clown and Company has done an outstanding job. This album is heavy, but it has some grooves that sound fantastic. When I hear it with my kid in the room, he starts to dance, especially with the song Bird of the Cruel. It's something like 10 years now since I became an Alter Bridge fan. Over the last releases, this is the one that I like the most. I wouldn't put Walk the Sky on my top 3 albums of Alter Bridge, but I like it a lot. If you're going to hear just one song of this album, listen to Godspeed. This song has the experimental vibe that Alter Bridge was missing recently. Alter Bridge, like Slipknot, is a band that sounds good live. But for me, in this case, Alter Bridge sounds better live rather than in studio. And it's the band that I've seen the most live in my entire life. Every time Mike Patton releases an album or a song or a project, he does something magical. And it doesn't matter in what music genre. He nails it every single time. And Corpse Flower is no exception. This is something I've never heard before. It's like taking classical music and mixing it with pop and rock. And it has some serious and some funny lyrics as well. And I really recommend you to check it out. It's funny because if I see the latest album of Digitalism on the shelf in a record store, I wouldn't buy it. But I still have to rank it as a top album of this year. I'm not really a techno music guy, but I listened to JPEG when I wanted to escape from real life, especially at work. I ended listening to Digitalism by coincidence because Tidal suggested it to me. This album helped me to get lost in some occasion, and that's the intention of music, right? I left the best one for the end. Fear Inoculum is that album that doesn't allow you to hear other music in the whole year. Well, only since the 30th of August. This album for me was mind-blowing from every single aspect. Lyrics, song structure, technical skills, everything. But the thing that I liked the most on this album was the production. Every band member sounds unbelievable on it. I recommend this album to anyone that wants to go to a very cool journey but has patience. And he has to be patient because the songs of this album are over 10 minutes. And they are not very easy to digest. I think this album will not gain a lot of new fans, but will strengthen the relationship with the existing fans that appreciate good music. This is not just my favorite album of the year, this is one of my favorite albums ever. Thank you so much for watching this video. Please put in the comment section which was your favorite album of 2019. I hope to see you again very soon. Bye.